The current Vechain price is about the same as $0.0179 per coin when it was worth 1 cent. This is a big difference from the day before, when it was worth 1 cent, and the change was plus 0.0002 plus 1.13, which is a big deal for that exchange rate. Vechain cost predictions for June 2023 start at 0.020, go up to 2 cents, and end at 1 cent. The average cost for the month is 1 cent, and there was a 1 cent change on June 15. This is a very important bet on USD expectations for July 2023, starting at 0.017, which is the highest cost. Even though the average cost for the month is 1 cent, which is very important, 1 cent is really the cheapest. Vechain costs are expected to go up in the coming months, with a 1 cent rise in July. The price of Vechain is expected to go up in August. The initial cost of the decade for October 2023 is expected to be 0.014 cents, with the lowest cost being 1 cent. 1 penny per month is about average for the month. The estimate for the cost of decking in December 2023 is 0.014. In a big way, the most high cost has always been at least 1 cent. 1 cent is about average for a month's cost estimate over a decade, and a 1 cent change for December changes the USD prediction for January 2024 by 14.3%. To start cost at 0.016 in a very major way, 1 cent was the most and 1 cent was the least. The price of a Vechain is expected to be 0.013 in February 2024, which is less than what is usually thought to be its highest price. This is because the average price for a month is 1 cent, which is a very important way to measure a decade's cost over the course of months, and 1 cent change in January 18.8%. This is lower than what is usually thought to be a month's least expensive price, which is 1 cent, significantly better than USD forecasts for WAC 2024 at the first price of 0.011, which is very important once you get to the monthly average of 1 cent. The most expensive is actually the least expensive. Vechain costs are expected to go up in the coming months, with a 0% increase in the spring. The cost forecast for April 2024 is 0.011, with the most expensive being 1 cent and the least expensive being $0. The monthly average of 1 cent decade cost estimate for the months and 1 cent change for April 9.1%. Which is very important that to USD expectations for May 2024 first and foremost cost at 0.010, which is generally very important. Greatest cost 1 cent truly lease cost $0 in a very big way than normal for the month. $0 decade expenses conjecture toward the months and $0 change from a June 2024 backing cost projection of 10%. The average cost of 1 cent per month over a decade was estimated to be $0.006 in the first place. This was what most people thought. The average cost of a month's worth of Vechain is $0, and the average cost of a month's worth of Vechain is $0, too. The average cost of a month's worth of Vechain is $0, and the average cost of a month's worth of Vechain is $0, too. The average cost of a month's worth of Vechain is $0, and the average cost of a month's worth of Vechain is $. Contrary to what most people think, the chain's highest cost is 66.67, which is at least 50.00 in every realistic way. The average cost for the month is $56.37. Which leads to the idea that near the end of the month, the highest cost is at least 50.00. 58.82 change in June. $17.6 Vechain forecast for July 2023. Most of the extreme cost is significantly reduced at the beginning cost of 58.82. The chain's at least 55.56 is the truly usual for the month at 66.67, 60.89, and in every practical sense, the USD to bet gauge for the months and USD to bet expectations for August 2023 in an unobtrusive way, before all else cost at 62.50 the chains, which expressly is very important, most extreme costs. 71.43 at least 62.50 in an unassuming way. The month's average 65.78 is a really large USD to that figure for the months and 66.67 change for August 6.7% dollar to Vechain forecast for September 2023. At an unadorned cost of 66.67, the highest cost of the chain 76.92, truly least 66.67, the average for the month 70.42, a USD figure toward the months, and 71.43 change for September 7.1% in a really significant way USD to Tibet estimate for the months, and 83.33 change in October to Becca. Number for November 2023, the chain's first cost was 83.33, the average for the month is 66.67, which is much less than 83.33. The month-to-month USD to debt gauge is 76.19, and the change for November is 71.43. Institutional interest in the cryptocurrency market drove the price of Bitcoin to gust -0.57% and other cryptocurrencies up. Its price went up to over $30,000. A decision by regulators on whether or not to allow exchange-traded funds for the world's biggest cryptocurrency could affect whether or not it breaks out again. Over the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone up 2.9% to $30,173. Even though Bitcoin was down from its high point late on Wednesday, it was still hanging on to most of the gains it made after a Wall Street-backed cryptocurrency exchange opened this week. That will probably make people more confident that Bitcoin won't repeat what happened in April, when its price quickly went above $30,000 before dropping back down. Even though the chance of more interest rate hikes from the Federal Reserve still clouds the macroeconomic picture for risk assets, Bitcoin seems to have broken away from assets like technology stocks for now. From a technical point of view, the cryptocurrency broke above the downward-sloping trend line drawn from the high of April 14 on Tuesday, wrote Charalampos Pasuros, a financial expert at XM, in a note. This probably means that more gains are on the way, he said. If the Securities and Exchange Commission stops being against allowing an ETF that owns Bitcoin, that will be a big factor in whether the price of Bitcoin can go up from here. BlackRock, ticker, BLK, Invesco, IVZ, and WisdomTree, WT, all want to start Bitcoin ETFs, which puts the SEC's stance to the test again. New promises from the companies to keep an eye out for market trickery have given people hope that the SEC might finally agree to such a fund. If BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF is accepted, institutions will start using Bitcoin in huge numbers. Because of this, the price of Bitcoin is going to go up a lot, said Kate Lawrence, CEO of Blockcelerate VC,